Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim Zahner with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. Have you ever wished to cruise around wine country in a classic car? Like, close your eyes. It's a beautiful, sunny day in wine country, and you're in your amazing, cool, classic retro car. And I'm talking about things that, like, you're just there. You're feeling the wind. You're happy. Your AMC Gremlin is just puttering along, or your Chevrolet Chevette, or your Geo Metro is just struggling to get up that hill, and you're like, I'm having a great time. And of course you haven't, because those are crappy cars, and they're not fun. And no one in their right mind has ever been like, I can't wait to whip out a 1974 Mustang II and go tour Sonoma Valley. But today I have a very special guest. And this time I do actually mean it, because he's going to tell us about what it's like to tour around wine country in a really cool VW bus. And I have Ronnie Cotter with West Wine Tours. Ronnie, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Do you guys have any AMC Gremlins that you do tours in?
We do not.
Okay.
No.
Do you have any Pacers?
No Pacers.
Okay. No Pintos?
No Pintos.
None of
just
those.
old Volkswagen.
Just old Volkswagens.
60s and 70s.
Just the cool buses.
Yeah.
That is kind of neat, man. So
It's fun.
That's what's called West Wine Tours.
West Wine Tours, yeah.
All right, let's just whip right into it. Give me the quick thing. What is West Wine Tours, and what do you guys do?
West Wine Tours, obviously, vintage VW buses, 60s and 70s. We take people to the family-owned wineries, the boutique wineries. We're not really going to the big ones. Obviously, guests can customize their own itineraries,
Right.
but if we're curating it for them, we like to show them what you're going to find without a quick Google search.
Got it. It's kind of going off the supposed beaten path kind
Off
of
the beaten
idea.
path, a little bit more laid back.
And I'm going to take, we got these cool, I have some photos here of the things you said, as I brought these rack cards in, as I'm showing on the camera, that you have newer ones with newer photos. But what I love is you have very colorful VW buses.
Yeah.
Tell me about them.
So we got red, green, blue, and yellow. They all got names.
Wait, is that their name? Is red?
No, so we got Scarlet is red, Scarlet
okay.
red. We got Sky blue. We got Green Bean, obviously green, and then our yellow one is Sunny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they got some cool names.
I just saw Sky right before the podcast here. Yeah. It was parked at Sonoma Market.
Yeah, that's where we do our lunches on our Sonoma tours.
Oh, you do? Okay, kind of pick them up there. So you have these 4 buses, and then do you guys go out every day, or how often do your tours go?
Almost every day. Depending on the season. Wine country is highs and lows.
Right. Oh, sorry, Ronnie. It's always sunny in wine country. This is a marketing podcast.
It's always sunny in wine country.
Just remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Almost every day.
Got it.
And when it's peak summer, it's every day.
Yeah. So you guys are out there.
Yeah.
And where do you guys start your tours?
We start off at Bartholomew.
Okay.
Bartholomew Estate Winery, nonprofit winery.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
What's it like up there?
It's natural.
Okay.
There's about 375 acres of public land up there.
Yep.
That's sits on a trust, can't be developed.
Okay.
All the proceeds of the winery go back into the public park. That's for fire prevention, trail maintenance, keep the winery going.
And how far is that from, like, say, the Sonoma Plaza?
Oh, less than 5-minute drive.
Yeah, it's very short.
Yeah,
it's very short. But you guys don't start at Bartholomew. You guys meet at the plaza, or what?
Yeah, so we meet at City Hall.
Okay.
We do pick up there. We do some pictures.
Okay.
And then we start off the tour.
Are you the tour guide?
Yeah, I'm one of the tour guides.
Okay. You can't do 4 at once because
I can't do 4 at once.
Person.
We have a lot of local guides that have been in the industry for years. Either grew up here, have lived here for many years.
Okay.
Know the area very well.
So, we go to Bartholomew Park, and then do you call other wineries from there and say we're coming, or is it all kind of pre-planned out? So
it's all pre-planned.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're curating the whole itinerary for you. Guests don't have to worry about anything other than where to be picked up and what time.
And what to wear for the cool photos.
Yeah.
Because I do see people really like these VW buses.
Yeah.
Tell me about the buses. Like, we had one as a kid, and it was amazing. There were certain times when we had to push it, but that was a family of 4 kids. And it was my dad. I remember we would often have his toolbox in the back of the bus. But tell me about the buses and what it's like driving them.
It's It's really fun to drive them. It kind of brings you back.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not from the 60s, but it's a
For
little.
those for those watching, Ronnie is a young man.
I'm 29.
29.
29,
Very good.
driving 60s buses.
Right.
It's fun. It kind of slows the pace down of the busy life that we all live today.
Are they automatic or manual?
They're manual. They're all 4 speeds.
Where did you learn a manual?
It was kind of self-taught. I started when I was 18. I bought a motorcycle.
You did.
Bought a motorcycle. I learned how to ride.
What did mom and dad think of that?
Did not like it, but my brother already had one. So it was a little bit easier to do.
He's the one to blame. Okay.
I'm the younger brother.
Okay.
So yeah, I learned how to work a clutch
On a motorcycle. Which on a motorcycle, isn't the clutch like going up and no? Is the clutch on the hand?
It's different. So the clutch is on the hand.
On the hand, right?
And then you shift.
You kick
with
up or down, right?
Yeah.
With your toe.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah. So it's I will say it feel like when you're explaining it to someone who's never done it,
Right.
it sounds a lot different.
Right.
But in terms of touch and feel,
It's the same kind of idea.
the same concept.
You wait for the rev to be right.
Yeah.
You hit it there, and,
Yeah.
and off you go. Do you find that when you're hiring drivers, do you have to teach them how to drive manual, or is it kind of self-selected, and you say, you should know how to drive?
Yeah, we're choosing from drivers that already know how to drive stick.
Okay.
These buses, they're not cheap to work on. It's
I like the way you just take a breath there. Like,
it's a classic car.
It is.
Yeah. And if we had to replace a clutch every
Yeah.
time we hired a new driver,
yeah.
it wouldn't be worth it.
Like if they're driving by and you can smell it, you're like,
Yeah.
that new kid's not working out, man.
Yeah.
Are you the one working on them, or does somebody else? You get mechanics.
We have a mechanic in Glen Ellen. So Gary,
okay.
he owns Sonoma Volkswagen Repair.
Okay.
He's great. He's been doing it, I think, his whole life.
Got a bunch of VWs right out front.
He's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, so you get plenty of parts.
Yeah.
And find them all right there. But did you used to work on cars, or how did you end up getting? No.
No. So the way I got into the business
Yeah.
is when the company started in 2016. My cousin was the first driver that they hired.
Oh, okay.
And for years, he was just asking me to drive because he knew I could drive stick.
Okay.
I really didn't want to do it.
Really?
I was happy with my other job.
What were you doing?
I was a farmer.
You
I was just working in the field.
For
all day.
real?
Yeah.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was
Okay.
fun. I didn't have to go to the gym after work.
It was
Got
sunny.
my workout there.
Yeah. But that's
yeah.
pretty solitary, isn't it? Working in like farming,
Yeah, just out in the field.
you don't talk to a lot of people.
Other than the few people you're with, no.
Right. And now you're in a job where like you're talking to people all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, that is my job. I'm a tour guide, so.
So you went from farming to, he's like, come on, just do it.
Well, they needed help one time. They needed a driver.
Okay.
And he kind of knew that, I could talk to people,
Right.
which is a big part of it.
Okay.
So they taught me a bunch about wine and about the wine industry.
Okay.
And then I did my first tour, and I kind of went back thinking, this is pretty fun.
Right.
And that rest is history. I left my other job and started doing this,
I love that.
and now I manage the company.
And you do, right, because you're basically the face of this company now.
Yeah.
I see you in front of City Hall often with tours and doing stuff. What are some of the things that you like most about doing this kind of job?
I would say just meeting people.
Okay.
Meeting new people, hearing different perspectives, hearing their stories, and then trying to show what Sonoma's all about.
Right.
I love Sonoma. I've been here most of my life.
Right.
People here on vacations are spending their money. They're here to have a good time, and I want to show
they're
them.
pretty happy.
Yeah, they're pretty happy.
By and large.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you come to Sonoma? Like, why are you here, Ronnie?
When I was 9, my parents moved here. So my aunt and uncle lived here. They moved here in, I think, 2000, 2001.
Okay.
And my mom wanted to be closer to her brother.
Okay.
So 2004, we moved out here.
When you were young.
Yeah, I was 9.
And then we were talking earlier, you went all the way through high school.
Yeah.
We have to say it. Go Dragons.
Go Dragons.
Okay, good. You played a little bit of baseball for the
A little bit of
Dragons?
baseball, yeah.
Good. And you graduated?
Graduated.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Was it like a skin in your teeth thing, or was it like, I'm going to graduate, no problem?
There were times where
Really?
it was close.
You had to do a little slide to get out of there. You know,
Yeah.
Make sure you made it. And then you worked at different jobs, it sounds like. It's interesting that when you're a tour guide, it's probably not a job that you hear about in high school or like the college, the career counselor mentions it at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hop into hospitality sort of by accident, and I find that a lot. You mentioned that you manage it. You have, I think Lauren Kirshner is one of the owners of the company. She owns a lot of different businesses.
She does. Yeah.
And it seems like every other year or two, I get another press release saying that she's expanding here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had Kenny on from Songbird Parlor last week. That's another one of the businesses she's involved in. So it's pretty amazing that you guys are all part of this group that's really doing stuff.
It's all the credit to Lauren.
Yeah.
I think she has four or five businesses.
I think
now.
she's a shark because if they stop swimming, they die. So she's always doing something.
She's just expanding.
She's hustling.
She's hustling. She's out there doing it.
And do you get to go to Songbird Parlor and eat?
I do. Yeah.
You do?
I do.
The food is so good.
The food is amazing. Yeah.
It's really
good.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times. And I've not been disappointed.
Yeah, it's a good spot. When you're doing the tours, I'm assuming, of course, you're not doing box lunches from Songbird Parlor. You mentioned like Sonoma Market and stuff.
Yeah. So we work with Sonoma Market. Okay. They have great deli sandwiches. Everything's fresh.
They do. Just had one.
Okay, yeah. I love the sandwiches.
That's why I got the coffee going right here.
It becomes a bit of a problem because I like the sandwiches so much.
Yeah.
And I go there so often.
Yeah.
I kind of had to dial back.
Do they know you?
They know me. Yeah.
Yeah, here comes Ronnie.
I walk in. Everyone normally takes a number.
Right.
I just walk in, they see my face, and they're like, okay, he already ordered ahead of time.
What's the sandwich you get? What's your go-to?
I mix it up, but I would say my favorite is probably the Yo Adrian steak and blue cheese sandwich.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo Adrian. Yeah, I like the pork banh mi.
Pork banh mi. That's their number one sandwich.
So good.
Yeah.
The bread's fantastic.
And the pork is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what they do back there. It's good.
It's a cilantro lime pork. So however they make it,
that's what they do. And when you're giving a tour, then you get lunch too. I'm taking it. Like the tour guide probably gets lunch. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some surprising places you've been to with these VW buses that people wouldn't think about?
I went to a dairy farm one time. We did a cheese tour. So I know this is a wine tour.
No, it's not. This is a tour company.
It was a family-friendly tour where it was a whole family. They were celebrating their grandfather, who had just passed away, and he had an exact color and year of one of our buses. So we picked him up and we did a whole cheese tour, and it was honestly, that's not something we normally do, and I really enjoyed it.
That is cool, and probably the meaning behind it for that.
The meaning behind it, yeah. I got to hang out with the group all day, go through the tour, learn a lot about cheese, tasted a bunch of different cheeses, and who doesn't love cheese?
People are often surprised. They think, okay, you're in wine country, and that's obviously a lot of what we promote because we have a lot of great wine, but also going with wine is great food and also farming, right? And we have fantastic cheeses here and dairies. We do have a place called the Cheese Factory, which is on the plaza and used to be a cheese factory.
Yeah.
But there's an actual cheese factory 2 blocks away at Vela.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever bring groups to Vela Cheese, but
I haven't brought anyone there yet.
Okay, it's a pretty cool spot.
Okay.
But what I do love is that the heritage and the tradition of this is from here. This is milk, right? And here's the cheese. We make it right here, or the ice cream, and then you can eat it all within, I don't know, 1.5 miles, 2 miles of everything.
Yeah,
it's right there.
It's nice. I remember, growing up here in Sonoma, used to always go into the cheese factory and get as many samples as you could.
You were one of those kids, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. And I'd fill up.
Yeah.
Go in, come out the door, go back
That's right. They had little cubes that you just go in there.
And they stopped doing that probably because of people like me.
Yeah, they're probably like, here comes the Cotter kid.
Yeah.
We're going bankrupt because of him.
Yeah. And then we go next door to Mary's and get the breadsticks.
That was amazing.
Basically ate for free.
I wonder if Mary still has those.
They don't do the breadsticks anymore.
They don't? Okay.
No.
They have soft serve ice cream, though, from Strauss.
Do they?
They do, at the Slice Shack.
That must be new. I haven't been to Slice Shack in a few years.
Yeah, Slice Shack is like one of those little secrets that people, like locals know about and some visitors will stumble into. But as you know, right next to the main Mary's Pizza, which is a good pizza shop, a little door you walk in, there's one guy, he'll heat up a slice for you.
Yeah.
They have some salads and stuff, but it's really just a quick slice.
Yeah, I know because I used to work at Mary's.
Oh, you did?
I was a pizza maker. It was my first job.
Really?
Yeah, downtown on the plaza.
Right here.
And then they started the Slice Shack when I was still working there, so I'd have to pop back and forth.
So you worked there. I was explaining to the guy that was there.
Yeah, so I was the opening pizza maker at Mary's, and when they first started the Slice Shack, I'd have to go over and pre-make all these cheese pizzas to help everybody else, and then they would add some toppings, and then now you can customize your own slice.
Right.
It's I honestly really enjoy the job.
What's your favorite pizza from Mary's?
It has changed over the years as my taste buds have changed. Recently, it's been the Garden Ranch.
What's that?
So it's a ranch-based pizza.
Like ranch dressing.
It's the Mary's Ranch.
Okay.
And it's the Mary's Ranch. It has artichokes, spinach, I think some mushrooms.
Oh, I've had that one. Yeah.
And then they put on the Napolitana
Okay.
mix from the Napolitana pizza that they do on the bruschetta.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds like a good one.
it's pretty good.
I just like that they have the proper pepperoni, which is the cupped pepperoni, because it
Yes.
catches the grease.
Catches the
It's
grease,
so
and you get-
good.
You get the crispy edges.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the right kind.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that. There's some sort of art and science to the pepperoni, the proper type of pepperoni for a pizza.
Yeah.
But Mary's does it right.
Mary's does a good job.
Again, if you want a quick meal, you can run in there, get your slice, and get out. And it sounds like I can get the fancy version too. So, geez, man,
You get anything you want at Mary's.
look at that.
They got it all.
They got it all there. Ronnie, what are some places that you enjoy taking people to, and you kind of see how their faces, react? Like what's that experience?
Obviously, I mean, Bartholomew.
Yeah.
We spoke about that earlier, but it's beautiful.
It's springtime. It's gorgeous.
It's springtime.
Yeah.
It's under a trust, so it can't be developed. And when you're driving to Bartholomew, I mean, it's a very pretty road. There's houses everywhere, and then you hit the gate, and it just opens up.
Yeah.
And it's just natural.
It's a narrow road, a bunch of trees. It's actually on the way. Good for cycling. A lot of cyclists will go up that way because it's really mellow and traffic can't move fast because it's slow.
And as soon as you get to the gates, it's wide open.
I know. It feels kind of like entering Oz. It's just like, duh.
Yeah.
And then they have a house there. There's both like the park and the vineyard, and then sort of a historic building there.
Yeah. There's a lot of history to Bartholomew. Right next door to Buena Vista. Obviously, California's first winery.
First winery. Yeah.
Part of Bartholomew now used to be Buena Vista.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. When it was last purchased in, I can't remember, I think the 40s.
Okay.
Frank Bartholomew purchased it. Found there were some vineyards from Buena Vista,
Okay.
which is really cool. There was some Native American vineyards.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of history to Bartholomew.
There is. It's a neat spot up there. Do you go down then south, or do you go up the valley, or where else do you go on your tour?
We have another really good spot. It's called Winery 16600.
Okay, tell me about that.
So that's a really cool spot. It's a small winery. It's a tasting room off the plaza here, but it's in an old 1898 house that they converted into a tasting room. The owner, Phil Cotter, is he's a deadhead. He's friends with the Grateful Dead.
Yes, lots of vinyl records there.
They have over 400 vinyls you can
Yeah.
choose through. Listen to any genre you want while you're doing your tasting. It's a really unique winery. The people are great, very personable. The wine is terrific.
Yeah.
They have a vineyard management company managing over 43 different vineyards around the valley. So their access to grapes is a little bit wider than a lot of these big wineries can do.
That's a great point, actually. They are farmers. And you mentioned being a farmer.
Yeah.
The Couturiers are farmers.
They are farmers, yeah.
And they always get mad if you call it dirt because it's actually soil.
It's soil, yeah.
So it's a living creature.
Yeah.
But they're very tied into growing things right way. That's,
Absolutely,
regenerative and not extractive and harmful because they're like, no, we're here for the long haul, right?
Yeah, and
grapes,
they've been doing it for a while.
They have. No, they have fantastic wines. And that tasting room is really cool.
Tasting room, it's awesome. When you pull up to it, you're thinking, you don't really know what to think.
Why am I at this little house in town?
And then you walk in and you see all the artwork. Stanley Mouse has done the labels for their bottles.
Yeah.
I mean, they have theater seats from an old theater in London that you can sit down and enjoy your tasting. It's a very unique spot that I don't think you're going to find anywhere else.
They also record occasionally their podcast, the Winemakers podcast in the back there.
Yeah.
And I've had Sam on the podcast before. So
I believe they do it every Wednesday,
I think, I'm trying to remember.
give or take.
Is it still in the backyard that they do it? I think they do. Or sometimes it depends on the weather.
Yeah, they do it right outside on the
Which,
benches.
because it's always sunny in wine country, Ronnie.
It's always sunny in wine.
It's always sunny in wine country. They do it there. Okay, so you got Bartholomew, you've got Winery 16600.
And then we usually round off with Annaba.
Oh, okay.
Annaba, it's a great stop.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a modern winery, known for their Pinots.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to end the day. I think every spot we're doing is unique in its own way, in terms of experience and wines.
Right.
And the people that, are hosting.
Right. And Annaba has, they're by the big roundabout.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
The new roundabout.
The new
Newish.
roundabout.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but it's pretty large.
Yeah.
I was there for the ribbon cutting of the roundabout.
Were you? Okay.
I mean, how often do you get invited to ribbon cuttings for roundabouts, man? That's
I haven't. No.
next time I'll make sure.
Yeah, you should invite me
I'll
next
say,
time.
can I
I'll
get
be
a plus
there.
one?
Yeah.
But Annaba's cool because they have big windmill on there, and it's named after a type of wind.
The anabatic winds.
The anabatic
Yeah.
winds. And it does get a little windy there in the afternoon, you know, in the
It
Carneros.
gets fairly windy there.
Yeah, and the Carneros region is where the valley kind of ends towards the San Pablo Bay. So as it gets warmer up valley, the winds come in,
Yeah.
and that helps with their Pinot Noir and their Chardonnay.
Yeah, they make some really good wines.
They do.
They, and even if you're into bigger reds, they do a Petite Syrah.
Yeah,
That's a fairly big red.
Yeah.
So they have something for everybody.
they do.
And it's a beautiful venue.
Yeah, they have pickleball too.
They got pickleball.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ronnie, you played baseball then. Are you a pickleball guy?
I've never played pickleball.
Never.
I think I'm one of the few people that have never played pickleball.
I think it's like the new golf. Like everyone's doing
Yeah.
pickleball. Yeah.
I golf.
You do?
I don't do pickleball. No. I don't know if my knees could handle pickleball.
Maybe no, that's the whole point of pickleball. It's like big ping pong.
Yeah, but you see some people after a tasting.
I know.
And they're out there. They're going pretty hard.
People take it too seriously.
They take it serious. You hear their shoes screeching.
I know, and I'm
you
like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be like, like darts. This is a game.
This is laid back.
It's a sport. Yeah, but they're not. They're gonna kill. Like, I'm gonna get this guy.
People take it very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God bless them. Good for them.
Yeah, good for you.
Where do you go golfing?
Yeah, I like to bounce around.
Okay.
Valley of the Moon here. It's just outside of Kenwood.
Is that a 9-hole muni? No.
No, it's an 18 hole.
Oh, it is? Okay.
They actually have two courses. They have the north and the south.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, up
north
there by Oakmont.
Yeah.
Between Oakmont and Kenwood. Yeah.
Yeah. So the north course it's a bit bigger.
Okay.
The south course is a little bit smaller.
Okay.
I usually go to the north course, but I also do a lot of like Foxtail
Okay.
in Roanoke Park.
Yeah.
I'm doing Eagle Vines tomorrow in Napa.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we get that question a lot because, like, in the valley proper, we don't have much golf. We have one private golf course. I know. Sonoma Golf Club. Have you played it?
I've wanted to play there for a while. I've never been able to do it.
Isn't there a way to like sneak on the third hole and act like you're supposed to be there?
You could, you could, but it's a little
Walk
risky.
backwards onto it. Oh,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, no. Or maybe you got to find someone. I'm gonna hold on. There's a whole thing like manifesting. I'm gonna Ronnie wants to play Sonoma Golf Club. So if you're
Absolutely.
listening,
Yeah.
invite him. And I hear he's great. He's very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Is your handicap like amazing? Or are you like
No.
He's very friendly.
It's about like an 8.
Great,
8.4.
wonderful. No, that's great. You're having a good time.
Yeah.
You have a good time when you're out
Have a
there?
good time.
That's what
Yeah.
matters. Yeah. I've played with people that are way too serious about golf.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not having fun.
You know what's funny is I kind of started off that way.
Yeah.
Going into golf, I started just at the back end of COVID.
Okay.
And I used to get a little frustrated, thinking that I should be doing better than what I am doing.
Right.
Not realizing I'm new.
Yeah.
I'm not that good.
Right. But you
And-
thought like, well, I was a baseball player. How
Yeah.
hard could this be?
I've played a lot of sports growing up.
Uh-huh.
Golf has to be the hardest
Because
sport.
you're playing against yourself.
You're playing against yourself,
Yeah.
and it's more mental than it is physical.
So I don't do it enough. I should. I live right by a golf course, but I should do it more because I do have a good time when I do it.
Yeah.
I always though seem to get like tee times when it's like blazing hot because I'm stupid. It's always like 1 in the afternoon. I'm like, why am I out here?
Yeah, I'm usually a 7 a.m. guy. Try to
Smart.
get out there early.
Yeah,
It's not, you can go a little bit faster. You don't get stuck behind all these slower groups.
that's true. That's
that are
true.
Just shotgun and beers.
I do see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Which again, it's fun to have fun, but when they're having too much fun, yeah,
Then it affects everybody
it
else.
does. It absolutely does. That's kind of funny. Do you ever travel and play golf, or you just like drive here? Like you don't like travel to like Palm Springs or stuff like that?
No, there's a tournament I do in September in Groveland,
Okay.
Pine Mountain
By
Lake.
Yosemite, Groveland?
Yeah, by Yosemite.
How'd you get involved in that?
It's not because I'm good. It's just a bunch of guys from a bunch of my dad's buddies from the Bay Area.
Okay.
That kind of put on their own tournament.
Okay.
And it's every year.
Fun.
It's just fun. Go up there,
It's pretty up there.
a lot of drinks,
Yeah.
have fun.
Do you bring all the wine that you're like, okay, here's some Annaba?
I don't bring the
Some
wine.
winery.
With how they're drinking, I don't think wine's the
That's
the
not
choice.
what they're doing.
That's not what they're doing.
They're up there to have fun at high altitude.
It's fun though. It's a good
Yeah,
time.
that is pretty good. Yeah, there's all these golf tournaments that I see, and these be a lot more popular, like as fundraisers and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And They were kind of fun, but really it's more just to talk to people. But there were all those people that really took it seriously.
Yeah,
You can't do that.
you can't take it. I mean, there's levels to it. You can be focused,
Yeah.
but there's obviously a little too much
Something
of
else
everything. Yeah.
All right. When you're not golfing, you're not doing tours. Are you still doing motorcycles, or what are you doing for fun?
No, I sold my motorcycle.
Smart.
Sold my motorcycle. Bought a new truck
Okay.
because I was having problems with my car.
So you bought a truck.
So I bought a truck.
How big of a truck did you get running?
It's like an F-150.
Oh, you're smart. Okay,
It's
good.
not. It's not.
You're not a truck.
It doesn't. I don't need anything more than that.
Right.
So there's no point in having it.
Look how practical you are. You're smart. Look at that.
Pretty practical.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I have a F-150. I golf.
The cardigan you're wearing is quite nice.
29 going on 75. That's just how it is.
Well, I have a neighbor, after high school, he worked at his dad's landscape business, and so they do landscaping and stuff like that, yard maintenance. And his dad has that old Isuzu diesel, the tiny old pickup, because dad's smart.
Yeah.
And this guy buys like the biggest, liftiest, dieselest thing he could get his hands on. It's tricked out, right? Because he's his truck.
Yeah,
He's like 20-year-old, whatever. And I'm like, dude, the second gas gets above a certain amount, or your back starts to feel it, because getting stuff in and out of those is hard.
And they're big trucks.
They are huge now.
Yeah. And if you're not fairly tall, getting in and out of that.
Well, that's the whole joke, because now they have like a little lift for the lifts.
Yeah.
And they have this little fold-outs and stuff
you
like that.
open the door and it's
like a little different than your VW buses.
A little bit different. Yeah.
Bringing it back to that.
Yeah, the VWs, they're a lot easier to get in and out of.
Yeah, those are what I like about it. They're low to the ground.
Yeah.
They're fairly convenient, and you're kind of upright, so you're not like doing the way back that a limousine kind of has that.
Yeah, and they're actually a lot more spacious than you think they are. So many guests, they show up and they sit down and they're like, the seats are so bouncy, they're so comfortable, and there's way more room than I thought.
Yeah.
It's deceiving, but once you get inside,
it is fun.
It's comfortable.
And you're not going super far.
We're not going far. We're not going fast. That's for sure.
You are not going fast.
Yeah.
Are those like little 4-bangers or 6? How many cylinders are inside those?
I believe it's a 4-cylinder.
They're small.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole thing was that you could work on them.
Well,
I mean,
people can.
A person can.
A person can.
They can be worked on.
The thing about these buses is they're easy to work on. You just kind of have to work on them a lot.
Right. You got to. I imagine keeping a classic car running for a daily business.
Yeah.
It involves a lot of maintenance.
It's a lot of. It's not
preventive maintenance.
It's more than a modern vehicle, but it's not quite as much as you think it would be.
Okay.
It's a good middle ground.
What are people's reactions when they first see them?
Just sheer excitement.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this. I've never seen one. I've never been in one."
So you get younger people.
We get a lot. We get every age.
And they're just excited about this cool old in their mind car. Yeah.
Yeah. We get a lot of 20-year-olds doing bachelorette parties.
Yes.
Bachelor parties.
See lots of those.
We get a little bit of the older crowd that grew up with the VW.
They're reminiscing.
buses
Yeah.
and everything in between.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But you're not doing the VW Vanagon, which were the camper vans.
No. Just the Type 2s.
Okay. The camper vans are classic.
They're cool.
I don't know if you could really do a tour that well. You only fit like 3 or 4 people in it, but they could sleep.
I think the vibes would be a little bit different.
It would be different.
Yeah.
Do you guys play music in there? Like, what do you guys do when you're?
Yeah. We play music. Usually, we ask the guests what they want to listen to.
Okay.
Most times, most people don't know what they want to listen to.
Really?
And then they'll always come back to me like, "Well, what do you want to?"
All right. So, okay, hold on here, Ronnie. What's the perfect Sonoma playlist?
I put on it's on Spotify. It's called 70s Road Trip.
70s Road Trip on Spotify.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It's just.
It's good. And you put it together.
Good vibes. I didn't even put it together. I just found
you found it?
I found it on Spotify.
Oh, okay. So this isn't like a custom Ronnie creation.
No. I played it. I listened.
Okay.
I listened to the entire playlist.
Okay.
And I was like, this works out
I'm
perfect.
gonna look up right now. 70s Road Trip. Otherwise, you could listen to KSVY where we record the station here. We record the thing there, but be kind of 70s Road Trip on Spotify.
It's a great way to start the day. And as the wine starts flowing.
Which one is it? There's 2 of them in there.
It's the bottom one.
The bottom one.
Yeah.
70s Road Trip. It's got The Cure, The Chain, Copacabana by Barry Manilow. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Piano Man.
Yeah, piano. You got Benny and the Jets.
Wow. Starman from David Bowie. Yeah, Benny and the Jets is right there.
Yeah.
Oh, You're So Vain by Carly Simon.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, that's a great one by ELO. So, okay, you've got, and it's pretty long there, so you can just play this out there and have a good time.
I just play it until, every time the guests get back
Right.
in the bus, I ask them again, what do they want to listen to? What's the soundtrack for this drive?
Right.
And a lot of times they want to stick with that.
Okay.
But then, as the alcohol starts flowing,
Right.
all genres come
They
out.
put in requests.
Yeah. And I'll play anything they want.
Really? Are you a big music person?
I do. I enjoy a lot of music.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you play an instrument?
I don't play, don't have that skill set.
Yeah, it's not your thing.
I might sing in the car
Yeah?
when nobody else could hear.
Just really quietly, like just like
Turn
jamming.
the music up so loud that I can't really hear myself.
But if I'm parked next to you, I'm like, who's the crazy guy in the VW
Oh, yeah.
just rocking out?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
to Meatloaf. That's you.
Absolutely.
Do you go to a lot of shows?
I don't go to as many shows as I would like.
Yeah.
No, I can't even remember the last time I went to
Working in
live show.
hospitality, man.
I mean,
Too
I
busy
think
working to go to fun stuff.
last time I saw live music was at Murphy's
Okay.
on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that
I was
must have
there.
been fun.
That was fun.
Yeah?
Drinking Guinness.
Murphy's is a great place. And
I
they
love
have good
Murphy's.
music in the snug.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about Sonoma though is that, and you'd probably take it for granted growing up here, that there are so many great bands and music acts that just play.
Yeah.
Often for free.
Yeah.
Or just the cover is like a drink or two.
Yeah.
Other cities don't have that.
Yeah, it's we're very lucky with
We
what
are.
we have.
Yeah.
And then all the shows at the amphitheater.
I was at the amphitheater. They're releasing. I think they just put out the new playlist. I got to look. So it starts in May and runs until October, I think, on the Sundays on the plaza. It's fantastic.
It's nice because most of the time on those Sundays, I would drop a group off at the city hall,
Yeah.
and they would just go straight.
Oh, right to the
straight there.
concert. Oh, that's
Right there.
smart.
And it's fun. They're already, they've been drinking all day.
They're
They're ready to have
party.
a good time.
They've got some some Annaba, some Winery 6600. They're like, let's go.
They're having a good time.
And Sonoma Plaza, you are welcome to have a picnic with a bottle of wine on the plaza. So
Yes.
anyone can do that. I mean, anyone of age can do that. And
That's also, we're very lucky with that. You can't do that.
no, which is weird
of
though when you
Sonoma.
think about it. Like if you're an adult and you're behaving yourself, I don't know why they don't allow that in other parks.
It's probably the bad apples, the ones that aren't behaving.
Yeah, that's probably true. Someone ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys. Jeez. Okay. Just before we go on to answering questions, what is the name of the website for more information about West Wine Tours? If people want to book a tour or find out about it, how do they find it?
That is westwinetours.com.
Westwinetours.com.
And if you can do a booking request on your own. You could call the phone number that calls my cell phone.
Oh, it does.
I could walk you through it.
That's right. You're the guy.
I'm getting a lot of phone calls these days.
You always are. You're popular, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they leave around 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Usually. Okay.
Yeah. Leave it. It depends on the itinerary,
Right.
but it's usually about 10:30.
Okay.
And then drop off back about 5:50.
And that's the standard tour, but also what I heard is that you can also do custom tours or
Yes.
group buyouts.
Yeah. So if you go through our website, you can book a bus for one party. We have 6-seaters, 8-seaters.
Okay.
As long as the bus can make it to the location,
Right.
if it's not up the mountain,
Right.
We'll take you wherever you want to go.
You're not going to the tip top of Moon Mountain.
No, definitely not.
No, not with the full bus.
No, I remember when I first came on with the company, I had to go over Trinity.
You did?
And-
As part of a tour, or are you transferring the bike?
It was part of the tour. The boss, the way the timing was,
Yep.
with the group was late.
Yep.
We didn't have time to go all
You
the way
couldn't
south.
go back down around?
Back around.
So you're like, we're doing Trinity.
We had to do Trinity, and all you could smell was brake pads.
Did you make everyone like exhale so you can get up? Like no one breathe.
No, I really just turned the music up really loud, and I just wanted to keep the vibes going.
Put it down in
to
second gear and hope to God.
Yeah,
on
I
the way
didn't-
down.
It was safe in the
Yeah.
sense. It's
Oh,
just it's not practical in terms of the maintenance. that you
No,
have to
and
do for
also
these buses.
that's we always encourage people like, hey, if you're going to go over to the other valley, just east of Eden,
Yeah.
go down and around. I mean, unless
If
you're like
you don't
on
know the area, yeah.
yeah, unless you're on a sport bike and you're like some sort of crazy motorcycle guy,
Yeah.
or you really enjoy getting sick in the back of a car.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Cave Dale Trinity, just don't do it. They're beautiful though. They're
It's beautiful. I used to ride my bike up and over all the time.
Oh, of course you did,
Yeah.
because you were young.
Yeah.
And it's good for motorcycles.
It's fun.
Yeah.
If you're smart.
And there's even cyclists that go up there. I think the cyclists are crazy.
I think that is crazy because there's
A lot of
no
blind turns.
shoulder to
Yeah.
that road.
A lot of blind turns.
Yeah.
And there's always some guy in a BMW just like
Just
going way too fast, and that's the way
Flying.
it is. But, I do have to mention, by the way, you guys are fantastic. You're one of the top tours around. if people don't want to be in a VW bus or they want something else, we have a bunch of other companies. We even have one of those sidecar tours, which is smaller.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
I see them all over town.
I love that. They pop up also in front of the City Hall. I mean, City Hall is the place to get a good view of Sonoma.
It's the best way to start the day.
It's a great way to start the day. And then part of that also we have, where is he? I don't have it here, but the wine trolley also starts.
The trolley's great, yeah.
And then, of course, push-pock tours. They have the little one-person, two-person electric scooters. They're kind of a funny way to do it. And then Platypus Tours does more traditional tours, and probably I think they can fit more people than.
Yeah, their vehicles are big.
Yeah,
and they do similar options to where we have a pay by the seat option. Where
you do?
you
Okay.
can just hop on with people that
Randos.
you don't really know.
Okay.
But by the end of the day, these people are
good friends
exchanging
together.
phone numbers. They're going out to dinner together. I've had people extend their trips and then book the same hotel.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So like you can meet new friends and just
Absolutely.
take the tour there. Okay, so you don't need to book the whole bus.
No, you don't have to book the whole bus.
Okay, well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Other wing, we have the e-bike people, Sonoma Adventures. And have you ever been on an e-bike?
No, but
What?
it's funny. I have a funny story that just happened to me last week.
What's that?
So I was at a winery, and my group was talking to another group that was next to them.
Right.
Well, these other people, they were a band on tour called Rend Collective.
Okay.
And so they just came from Oregon the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And they had e-bikes. And so we're getting ready to leave. They leave. One of the guys crashes the bike in the driveway of the winery, cuts his leg wide open.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was
Like bad?
It needed stitches.
Oh, dear.
It was pretty big.
So did you bring them to the hospital?
So yeah, I piled them in the bus, took them to the ER.
Down here at Sonoma Valley Hospital.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just dropped my group off. My group was happy to do it.
They're chill. They're like,
Yeah,
whatever.
they were having a good time.
So what I'm hearing is be careful on your e-bikes, and thank you, Sonoma Valley Hospital, for your fantastic ER care. Yeah, you look at that. Yeah. Did you get a band T-shirt out of it or something?
No.
What's the name of the band again?
It's called Rend Collective, REND.
Okay.
Collective.
Well, Ren Collective, we hope you're doing better. And I think Ronnie's a large for a shirt. So if you're going to send it down to him, make sure you send it care of West Wine Tours. 'Cause I'm sure he'll wear it and he'll rock it. Maybe he'll add you to the playlist. Other quick tours we have, the Sonoma Plaza Experience is a walking tour, gourmet food and wine tours. So there's all sorts, I mean, these are all rack cards. I know I'm basically holding up some of your competitors, but it's basically showing
That's okay.
all this different ways to see wine country.
Yeah.
That people can choose based upon what they want and what they need. And you guys are so cool with your retro feel.
And I think it's great with, other businesses promoting other businesses.
It is because it's a partnership. It's cooperation.
We're all in it together.
We are, and I know a lot of tour companies talk. You're like, oh, that winery's such and such is happening there, so go this way or watch out for this road. So, yeah, you guys work together. You got this. Okay, Ronnie. It's westwinetours.com.
Yeah, westwinetours.com.
Okay, plural, westwinetours.com. And then if they want to text you, what's the number?
That is 707-787-8141.
Okay.
And I prefer a phone call.
Oh, look at you.
I'm not a text.
Okay, Grandpa.
I told you I'm an old man in a younger man's body.
I like that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get lots. People can text us, and we'll talk about that. But phone calls are kind of nice sometimes.
I like it.
But don't you feel like half the time, isn't it a telemarketer?
Oh, it's so many spam calls I'm getting every day, all day.
And they spoof local numbers, which drives me nuts.
Yeah, and now, there's a lot of times it's the same phone number.
Yeah.
And so I memorize these phone numbers, and I just immediately just
Say no.
click it off.
Yeah. Then I'm like, shoot, what if that was someone calling for business?
They'll leave a voicemail.
They will. Oh, you are old school. And then they will fax you later.
Yeah.
All right, Ronnie, do you know what we're going to do next? Do you know? Okay. So, Ronnie, we have 2 visitor centers. One down at Jacuzzi, one at the Toscano Hotel on the Plaza. People call us, they text us, they ask us questions. We have professional staff. We have 24 volunteers. And they help visitors every day with all sorts of questions. Well, today, Ronnie, you are going to become one of our volunteers, and you're going to help me in this segment we call We Get Questions. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
These are real questions.
Okay.
Hi, I'm seeking a restaurant with really good burgers and a decent bar within walking distance of some good ice cream. Bonus points if the restaurant has a nice patio.
Bonus points if the restaurant has a nice patio.
So it's burgers,
Burgers,
decent bar,
decent bar.
walk to ice cream. So those are the three, right?
I mean, immediately what I'm thinking is Burger and Vine.
Yeah, it's in their name.
You know,
burger.
You know, they got a lot of different drinks. They got
They do.
good burgers.
They do.
Right next door to Sweet Scoops.
Right.
So I mean, that is immediately
I think
what
they share
I'm
a
thinking
wall.
of. Yeah.
So I was thinking when this one popped up, I'm like, that one's really easy.
Yeah, I hope they're all that easy.
So that's a good one. And then also, if Sweet Scoops is busy, or if you want to walk a little bit further, Chocolate Cow
Cow's great. Yeah.
Was Max wasn't there as a football coach when you were there? No. So the chocolate maker is the football coach. So it's really funny to go in there because he's always making chocolate. But then when football season's around, he's also like talking to the kids and the parents while like making truffles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Chocolate Cow is a great place as well. So
yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's a simple one. And really good burgers. There's lots of places with good burgers. So
there's lots of places with good burgers in town.
Yeah. Like if you go up Valley up to Palooza, has good burgers up there.
Palooza has good. Sonoma Grill has a good burger.
Sonoma Grill is up the back patio. People don't know about it, and good seafood if people are into oysters and stuff like that. And from there, you can also walk to ice cream because it's on the other side of the plaza. But
plaza's not that big. No.
It's not that far.
You can make your rounds.
You can definitely go around it. So, and I think EDK has a good burger. The same sort of thing. So there's lots of good burgers that you can get to, and then you can all go back to Sweet Scoops or Chocolate Cow. And get it. Or Strauss soft serve at the Slice Shack.
I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, I didn't know they were doing that.
Shouldn't you, as an alumni, get like some sort of like deal or something?
I should just walk in there and serve myself.
I think there's a brass plaque with your name on it.
Most pizzas ever made,
right there.
by
this
a
guy.
single person.
Do you still have like that the pizza dough memorized like the recipe?
The recipe? No, I don't. I can still toss the dough.
No, but pizza dough is like the secret. The dough is the secret to good pizza.
Dough and sauce.
Yeah.
Dough and everything else you can get by on. Dough and sauce. You got to.
Can't fake it. And that's why when you have the crappy, pizza, you're like, this is bad because the dough just it's not there. Or
the crust
sauce
is just terrible.
Yes.
It's not cooked right. It's soggy.
I've been talking about doing an all pizza episode here. We just bring in some of the pizzas from all around the entire county, and we just do a taste test.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have to add you to that list.
Okay.
Because I have a bunch of people who are like, I want to be on that show.
That'd be great.
See, wouldn't it? It'd be kind of fun. All right, another question we got. Are there any youth hostels in Sonoma? Yeah, do you know what youth hostel is? Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, so youth hostel was back in the day, back when your VW buses were popular.
Okay.
Hosteling was a thing where young people kind of backpack, like around Europe or Asia, and rather than getting a hotel, they would stay in a dormitory style building. So like there would be a common room. Oftentimes there's lots of coffee, breakfast, and then you would have rooms that you really rent a bed. And so you could do a hostel. It's a very cheap way to travel around. They've gotten a little fancier. Some of them have private rooms or like smaller rooms with like just a couple beds. But the classic hostel is like, it's like a barracks,
Yeah, yeah.
And this is how like a lot of people in the 60s and 70s and 80s would kind of travel around affordably, especially internationally. But I'll hop in and say, in Sonoma Valley, there aren't any hostels per se.
I was going to say I couldn't think of one.
No, and it's kind of funny because I always thought it would be an interesting business to try, but typically you have to be on a route where there's either a train or good bus service. Mm-hmm. And Sonoma Valley is a little bit of a cul-de-sac in the transportation. We're kind of up here. If you were closer, like towards Petaluma or on 101, where the buses run, or on Amtrak, much more likely. Yeah.
I think that's part of why Sonoma's special, though. We're kind of cut off.
We are.
We're doing our own thing.
No, we are. We are definitely. We are off the beaten path in some regards, and it's great for visitation. I had someone who ran a logistics company in Sonoma, and he goes, "I don't know why I'm here." I'm like, we are not on the main road.
No,
why are you here? He's like, I like living here, but he did have to move the company. A little out of town. But there are some in San Francisco. So there are youth hostels in San Francisco. So what I would say to anybody, you can come up here for the day. And if you can get up here, then you can also take a bus tour with West Wine Tours. So
VW Wine Tour, it's a great day.
Best way to do it. Okay, here's a really crazy one we saw on Facebook. It's not crazy, it's just interesting and off the wall. I thought we should try this one. Does anyone know a restaurant or place that serves really good mashed potatoes? I got a procedure done for my teeth and can only eat soft foods, and I'm really craving mashed potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes. Who's got good mashed potatoes?
I don't know. I know the scallop potatoes. I can't think of the mashed potatoes.
I wonder if like the Swiss has like it sounds like a very classic dish,
Yeah.
right? Mashed potatoes are something that they're so basic, but important, you know?
I feel like mashed potato. It's hard to mess up,
Right.
but it's even harder to do perfect.
Yes.
You
I
know,
think you're
it's almost
absolutely
so
right.
simple that it becomes difficult.
Yes. And if you over whip them or if you do it wrong.
Yeah.
So I bet you Sonoma Grill probably has good mashed potatoes. I've never gone to a place thinking of mashed potatoes.
I don't think I've ordered mashed potatoes from a restaurant. That's to me that's usually like a home dish.
Yeah. When do you eat mashed potatoes?
When I go visit my mom and she makes mashed
Right.
potatoes.
Oh, okay. Hold on. There is a place, Willie Bird's, up in Santa Rosa, where they have Thanksgiving dinner year round.
Really?
And I bet you they have mashed
Willie Bird's.
potatoes. Willie Bird's, yeah.
Huh.
So that might be it.
The only thing I could think of in town would be like Black Bear.
Oh, exactly.
Black Bear
Black
does
Bear would
mashed
probably
potatoes.
have it. I bet you they do.
Yeah. I know they have mashed potatoes.
Okay, you've had them there?
I just don't know the quality of these mashed
Right.
potatoes.
Right. Well, we'll assume for the sake of the podcast,
We'll assume they're good.
you can go to Black Bear Diner. You know what Black Bear is good at is like a small cheeseburger at the counter. It's just like the perfect, like
Yeah.
quick, delicious, classic lunch.
Yeah. Or like a patty melt.
Yes.
Their patty melt. Their breakfast. You get a big
Great.
plate of breakfast and you're not breaking the bank.
No, it's a good spot.
Yeah.
I do like Black Bear. So okay, so that one almost did stump me. I should have done a little more research, but I think you're absolutely right. I think Black Bear is a good.
I think
catch.
Black Bear would be the one.
Good
yeah.
job, man. You should do this for a living, Ronnie. You're good. You're good at answering questions.
Okay.
Final question. We got a couple walked in and they said, "Where are the hot springs?"
Well, it's funny. Like we have Boys Hot Springs.
Right.
We have Morton's used to be the pool.
Yeah.
You know over there.
Yeah. still there.
I couldn't narrow down the exact spot of a hot spring.
Right. We
couldn't tell you.
So, and this is interesting, right? Where are the hot springs? Because you just said Boys Hot Springs,
Yeah.
which is named after Colonel Boys. We've got Agua Caliente,
Yeah.
Spanish for hot water. Incidentally, the continuation high school was called Agua Caliente High School. So if you didn't get through the Dragons, through Sonoma Valley High, you had to go to Hot Water High, which is kind of funny.
Hot water.
Fetter's Hot Springs.
yeah.
And I probably just forgot one because I interrupted myself. But so these were springs that were/are in Sonoma Valley. They're geothermal springs. But it's important to note because of some activity that created the springs, geothermal activity as well as tectonic shift, the springs are not quite where they used to be. They shifted during some tectonic shift. That's how tourist people talk about earthquakes. There was tectonic shift. And so in 1906, after a slight shift, a slight realignment of the Earth's crust, some of the springs did not come up exactly where they used to. There are still springs, though, and they're still there. They're not as active as they were. So if you go to Morton's Warm Springs in Glen Ellen, there are hot springs, but they do feed their pool. And the Sonoma Creek that comes down has some of the springs that come out. I think they call it a fumarole, which is like where the hot water kind of like comes out.
Yeah.
But it's not like a geyser.
Because I used to go to Morton's when I was younger, and then we would go to the creek after.
Yeah.
And nothing stuck out to me.
No, they're just seeps of like hot water.
Yeah.
But it's not like super hot.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Did you get poison oak?
No.
Okay, good for
we used
you.
to catch crawdads. That was the whole thing. We'd go back there, catch crawdads. And
What do you remember about Morton's? Do you remember how many pools there are?
I believe there was there three?
3.
Three?
Yeah.
I think there was 3. For me, we would do like baseball parties there, like birthdays.
Yeah, the big lawn that slopes
the big
up.
lawn.
You can play wiffle ball there.
That's what we did. We go swimming. We play
Right.
some wiffle ball.
Yeah, there's a
Pull
game
out-
room. There's ping pong and stuff like that.
Pull out the football.
Soft serve ice cream and stuff like that.
Yeah. Morton's is great.
It is. It's a good spot. It's open there in the summer, and it's a classic style old family resort.
Yeah.
I love going there.
I like
Yeah,
I like the old school.
Yeah,
Old school feel.
it's
to
not
it.
fancy,
No, but it's fun.
but it's fun.
It's fun.
Not fancy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
That's you know what? I think we have a new tagline.
It's not fancy, but it's fun. There you go.
That's who we are right there. So, Ronnie, you have answered all the questions correctly. You did a great job. You're amazing. Oh, I should mention there's hot springs. Sorry. Fairmont Sonoma Mission Inn does have an entire spa.
That's true. That is true.
Have hot springs, but that is a paid experience. You don't just walk into the hot springs. But yeah. On that, Ronnie, you have answered all the questions correctly.
Okay.
You know what you win?
What do I win?
The new visitor guide. Our brand new visitor guide. It just
Oh.
came out. You win the brand new visitor guide. And you know what? I have good news for you. You don't have to be a winner to get one of these. You can just order one on the website.
Can
And
you?
that'll make you a winner. Yeah, if you go to sonomavalley.com, you can find out how to get a new visitor guide, and we'll even have a government employee bring it right to your door.
Right to your door.
They'll be wearing a post office outfit.
Okay.
Ronnie, again, what's the website if people want to book a tour?
That is westwinetours.com, WESTWINETOURS.com.
And if they want to call and leave you a lengthy voicemail, they call you at
707-787-8141.
Wonderful. Ronnie, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And then after you've done that, after you've booked your westwinetours.com experience, please go to sonomavalley.com for deals, special offers, events, and to order your new visitor guide. Mom and Dad, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.